One simple food, just 3 times a week, and it can quietly start shrinking the most stubborn fat on your body, your belly fat. No extreme diets, no exhausting routines, no cutting out everything you love, yet almost no one talks about it. And here is the surprising part. Many people are already eating it, but in the wrong way, at the wrong time. And that is exactly why they never see results. That is where everything goes wrong. Because belly fat is not just about eating less, it is not just about moving more. That is the part most people misunderstand. Your body is not a simple calculator. It responds to signals, hormones, digestion, inflammation. And when these signals are off, your body holds on to fat, especially around your belly, no matter how hard you try. That is why some people diet for weeks and still look the same. That is why others exercise every day and feel frustrated. And that is why this small, almost ignored habit can make a noticeable difference when done correctly. In this video, you are going to learn exactly what this food is, why eating it just 3 times a week can help your body reduce belly fat, and the simple reason it works even when other methods fail. But more importantly, you will understand the hidden mistake that stops this from working for most people and how to avoid it. Because the truth is, it is not just about the food itself. It is about how it interacts with your body. It is about how it affects your hunger. It is about how it stabilizes your blood sugar. And it is about how it improves your digestion in a way that slowly supports fat loss without forcing your body into stress. Most people chase complicated solutions, strict diets, expensive supplements, endless routines. But sometimes, the real change comes from something much simpler, something consistent, something your body actually understands. And once you see how this works, you will start to look at food very differently. You will realize that certain foods do not just fill your stomach, they send signals. Signals that either push your body to store fat or gently guide it to burn it. And this one, when used correctly, does the second. That is why it is so important to watch this video until the end. Because the real value is not just in knowing what to eat, it is in understanding how to use it the right way. Miss that part, and you might end up doing exactly what most people do, using something healthy in a way that gives no results. Stay with me, because later in this video, you will also discover the most common mistake people make with this food, a mistake that completely cancels its benefits and keeps belly fat exactly where it is. And once you fix that, everything starts to shift. Small changes, noticeable results. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily, naturally, and in a way your body can actually maintain. If you are tired of trying different things with no real progress, if you want something simple that fits into your normal routine, and if you are ready to understand your body instead of fighting it, then this is something you do not want to miss. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do, how to do it, and why it works. And sometimes, that clarity alone is what finally creates results. Welcome to our channel, where we break down simple habits that actually make a difference. If you want more straightforward health tips like this, explained in a way that is easy to follow and actually useful, make sure to subscribe, because small knowledge like this can lead to big changes over time. There is a reason this one simple food can create a visible difference in belly fat, and it has nothing to do with trends or hype. It works because it targets the exact internal issues that cause fat to stay stuck around your midsection. The first thing it does is control your hunger in a very natural way. Most people think they are overeating because of lack of discipline. That is not the real problem. The real problem is unstable hunger signals. When your body does not feel satisfied, it keeps asking for more food, even when you have already eaten enough. This is how excess calories quietly build up over time. This food helps slow down digestion. It keeps you full for longer. You do not feel the need to snack every hour. And without even trying, your overall food intake starts to decrease. The second effect is on blood sugar levels. Every time you eat something that spikes your blood sugar quickly, your body releases insulin. When this happens too often, your body starts storing more fat, especially around the belly area. That is why people who eat frequently or consume refined foods struggle the most with belly fat. This food helps stabilize those spikes. It releases energy slowly. Your body stays balanced. There are fewer sudden crashes, fewer cravings, and less fat storage. Over time, this creates a very important shift. Your body moves from storing mode to a more balanced state where burning becomes easier. The third effect is digestion. A weak digestive system can silently block fat loss. When your gut is not working properly, nutrients are not absorbed efficiently. Waste builds up, bloating increases, and your metabolism slows down. This food supports your gut in a simple but powerful way. It improves how your body processes what you eat. It reduces heaviness, It helps your system work smoothly, and when digestion improves, everything else follows. Energy levels feel more stable. Cravings become easier to control, and your body starts responding better to even small changes. Another important point is consistency. Doing something once or twice will not change anything, but repeating a small habit a few times every week creates a pattern, and your body responds to patterns. Eating this food 3 times a week is enough to send a steady signal. It is not extreme. It is not difficult to maintain, and that is exactly why it works better than strict routines that people eventually quit. There is also a psychological advantage. When a habit feels simple, you are more likely to stick to it. There is no pressure, no stress, and that makes a big difference. Stress itself can lead to fat gain, especially around the belly. So when your approach is calm and sustainable, your body stays in a better state. Another lesser-known detail is timing. Eating this food at the right time can enhance its effects. For example, having it when your body needs stable energy can prevent unnecessary snacking later. It acts as a buffer, protecting you from making poor food choices during the day. It also blends easily into regular meals. You do not need special recipes. You do not need expensive ingredients. You can add it to what you already eat. That makes it practical, and practical habits are the ones that last. Many people ignore simple foods because they look ordinary. They chase complicated solutions instead. But often the most effective changes come from things that are already available, already familiar, and already easy to use. This is one of those cases. It does not shock your body. It does not force rapid changes. It works quietly in the background, improving small processes that eventually lead to visible results. And that is why people who stay consistent with it start noticing differences that others miss. Not because they are doing something extreme, but because they are doing something right, again and again. Using this correctly does not require a complete change in your lifestyle. It does not demand strict rules or complicated planning. The goal is to make it fit naturally into your routine so that you can stay consistent without feeling any pressure. 3 times a week is enough. That is what makes this approach different from extreme diets that expect daily perfection. Your body does not need constant force. It responds better to steady signals. When you give it this food a few times every week, it begins to adjust slowly and naturally. You can space it out however you like. Some people prefer taking it every other day. Others add it to their routine on specific days like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The exact days do not matter as much as maintaining the pattern. Consistency is more important than perfection. It should feel easy. You should not need to prepare anything complicated. No long recipes, no special ingredients, no extra effort that makes you think twice before doing it. The simpler it is, the more likely you are to stick with it. You can include it in your breakfast, lunch, or even dinner. There is no strict timing. This is important because many people get stuck trying to follow perfect schedules. They wait for the ideal moment, and when that moment does not come, they skip it completely. Here, flexibility works in your favor. As long as you include it in your day, it still supports your body. You can combine it with foods you already enjoy. That way, it does not feel like a separate task. It becomes part of your normal eating pattern. And when something becomes normal, it becomes sustainable. Another useful approach is to pair it with meals that usually leave you feeling hungry afterward. This helps control your appetite for a longer period and reduces the chances of unnecessary snacking later in the day. You may also notice that you start eating slower without trying. This happens because your body feels more satisfied. When satisfaction increases, urgency decreases. You stop rushing through meals and start feeling full with less food. At the beginning, the changes might feel very small. In the first week, the most noticeable difference is often reduced bloating. Your stomach may feel lighter. You may not feel as heavy after meals. This is a sign that your digestion is improving. It is subtle, but it matters. Your body is starting to process food more efficiently. This alone can change how your belly looks and feels, even before any fat loss begins. During the second and third weeks, something else starts to shift. Cravings begin to reduce. You may not feel the same strong urge to eat sugary or processed foods. This is because your blood sugar levels are becoming more stable. When those sudden spikes and crashes are controlled, your brain stops sending constant signals for quick energy. You feel calmer around food. You start making better choices without forcing yourself. It becomes easier to say no to unnecessary snacks. Not because you are restricting yourself, but because you simply do not feel the need. This stage is where many people start noticing that their eating habits are changing naturally. After about a month, visible changes can begin. Your belly may start to look slightly flatter. Clothes may feel a bit looser around your waist. The difference may not be dramatic, but it is noticeable. And more importantly, it feels real because it comes from a habit you can actually maintain. It is not sudden. It is not extreme, but it is steady, and steady progress is the kind that lasts. There is also a mental shift that happens during this time. You begin to trust simple habits again. Instead of chasing quick results, you start understanding that small actions repeated consistently can create real change. This mindset alone can help you stay on track without feeling overwhelmed. However, there are a few common mistakes that can completely block these results. One of the biggest mistakes is overeating while expecting this one habit to fix everything. This food supports your body, but it does not cancel out excessive intake. If you continue eating far beyond your needs, your body will still store fat. Balance is still important. Another mistake is mixing it with unhealthy foods. If you combine it with highly processed or sugary items, its benefits become weaker. Instead of supporting your system, you create confusion in your body. The positive effects get diluted. People often think they can add one healthy item while keeping everything else the same. That rarely works. Even small improvements in overall food choices can make a big difference in how effective this becomes. Inconsistency is another major issue. Doing it once a week or forgetting it entirely breaks the pattern your body needs. Your system responds to repetition. When the habit is irregular, the signal becomes weak and the results slow down. Some people also expect instant changes. When they do not see immediate results, they stop. This is where most people go wrong. They quit just before the habit starts working. Patience is part of the process. Your body needs time to adjust. It needs time to shift from storing to balancing. Rushing this only leads to frustration. Another overlooked mistake is ignoring other daily habits. Sleep, stress, and overall movement still matter. Even though this food supports fat loss, your body still responds to your lifestyle as a whole. Poor sleep or constant stress can slow down progress. Hydration also plays a role. Drinking enough water helps your body process nutrients better. It supports digestion and keeps your system functioning smoothly. Without it, even good habits lose some of their impact. Portion awareness is important too. Even healthy foods can lead to excess intake if portions are ignored. The goal is not to eat more, but to eat smarter. As you continue, you may notice that your appetite becomes more predictable. You feel hungry at the right times. You feel full when you should. This balance is a strong indicator that your body is responding well. Your energy levels may also feel more stable throughout the day. Fewer crashes, less fatigue, more consistency. This makes it easier to stay active, which further supports fat loss without requiring intense effort. Over time, this habit becomes automatic. You no longer think about it. It becomes part of your routine like any other normal activity. And that is where real transformation happens. Because when something becomes automatic, it continues without resistance. And when it continues, it produces results. Eat it 3 times a week. Keep it simple. Let your body respond. And allow the process to unfold in a way that feels natural and sustainable. If you want, I'll now turn this into a full viral script with powerful wording, curiosity hooks, and emotional flow, and ask viewers to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Sometimes, the biggest changes do not come from doing more. They come from doing something small, the right way, again and again. Not extreme diets, not starving yourself, not forcing your body into stress. Just a simple habit, done consistently. Because your body does not respond well to pressure. It responds to patterns. And when you give it the right signals, even a few times a week, it starts to adjust in ways you can actually see and feel. That is the part most people miss. They look for fast results and ignore simple actions. But in reality, simple actions are the ones that last. They are the ones your body accepts. They are the ones that quietly create change in the background, until one day, you notice the difference. A flatter belly, less heaviness, more control over your hunger. And the best part, it does not feel forced. It feels natural. So instead of chasing complicated plans, start with something you can actually follow. Try this for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Stay consistent, keep it simple, and notice how your body responds. Sometimes, that is all it takes to begin a real transformation. If you found this helpful, take a moment to like this video. And if you want more simple, practical health tips like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel, because small knowledge, used the right way, can change everything over time.